everyone, this is Anshika, and today we are here with another video of our DSA series. Today's question will be power of 3. This is also question 326 on Leetcode platform. First, we'll be understanding what is the problem. After that, we'll be looking towards the possible solution, and even after that, we'll be looking at the problem solving on the Leetcode platform. So let's begin by understanding the problem. Given an integer n, return true if it is a power of 3, otherwise return false. An integer n is a power of 3 if there exists an integer x such that n is equals to 3 raised to the power x. Our first example is going to be when n is 27 and the output is going to be true because 27 can be represented as 3 raised to the power 3. Output will be false when n is equals to 0 because there will be no x or any integer which can be raised as a power of 3 and result 0. And also if n is negative, then the output is going to be false because there is no x where 3 raised to the power x is a negative number. So let's begin. Here we are given an integer n, which is said to have the value such that any x raised to 3 gives n. The base cases of this solution is, first of all, as it was stated in the example, that n cannot be any number that is negative. So any number raised to a negative 3 raised to a negative value cannot give n. So that is not n. So for that we have to return false. This means that negative means that it should be greater than 0. Okay. Then we have the second condition that whenever we divide when it was given 27 and we know that 27 is the power can be represented as 3 raised to 3. So we can check that any number that is n, we can keep on dividing it by 3 and then again by 3 so that we can eventually reach that n is equals to 1. And hence 3 raised to 0 is 1. So 1 can also be represented as 3 raised to 0th power. So for this, our pseudocode is going to look like something like if we have our boolean is power of 3 function given integer n, then what we have in here is if, first of all, for negative condition is that if it's we are just going to take it less than 1 so that we can exclude both negative and 0. Okay, we return false because we cannot consider that value of n to be true. Then we use a while loop in order to look for our value such that, first of all, we take our condition to be n divided by 3 equal to 0. We use this while loop as long as our number is divisible by 3, and inside this loop we just go on dividing n by 3, and this can also be written as this value can be replaced by n divided by equal to 3. And outside this while loop, we are going to return our n equal to 1 value. If this is true, means if it has reached till 1 by dividing by 3, then that value, whether it's true or not, will be returned by our function that is of Boolean return type. First of all, let's use our base case, that is n less than equal to 1. Over here we're going to return false. Then inside our while loop, we put the condition that when it's divided, n is divided by 3, its remainder should be 0. And inside this, we are just going to tell our n to keep dividing, and then we're going to return n equal to 1. If this value is true, our function is going to return true, and if it's not, then our function will return false. So let's first run this. Yep, this has worked for all the test cases, as you can see, for 0 as well as -1 and a positive value that is divisible by 3 and can be represented as its power. Now let's submit it. Great. So we have completed this question. Thank you so much for watching.